Hey YouTubers, I wanted to give you an update about what's been happening with me. I haven't put out any videos in about a year, but let me tell you what's been happening. This past year in 2017, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. So this entire past year, I've been going through treatment, chemo, lost all my hair. My hair's coming back in, went through a couple of surgeries. Thankfully, I did not have to have radiation, but I did have a mastectomy. So I have had a breast removed and I've had reconstruction done. So I've got both sides right now in a healing mode, but I'm completely finished with my treatment. So far, so good. No cancer. They got rid of everything during the mastectomy. So I'm right now cancer free. Fingers crossed for the future. But now, as I'm starting to feel better and get back to being my normal self, I'm going to put out some more videos. So I just wanted to give you guys a little update on what's happening and why it's taken me so long to get going. But we're back in the saddle. We're going to make new videos, and I'm going to put out a couple of videos that I have done on my Twitch knitting show. I do a daily knitting show from 3 to about 4:30, 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And I do tutorials and other things on the knitting show. So I'm going to cut together a couple of videos from a recent tutorial that I've done and put that up so you can see what the Twitch show is all about and still get some lessons. So leave me some comments if you have any ideas for upcoming videos. I'd love to hear from them. And if you have any questions about breast cancer and the journey I have been on, I would be happy and more than happy to talk to you and answer questions. So we will see more videos coming out now, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye. Welcome everybody. We're gonna do a knitting lesson today, boys. So if you guys, if any of you other folks out there want to learn how to knit, go get your yarn, go get your needles.
Hello, boy.
All right, so lesson number 1. We have to get the stitches on the needles. Can't knit until we get stitches on the needle. So when you're crocheting, you only ever use one stitch at a time. You just use one stitch. You do all your work with one stitch. With knitting, you have to get enough stitches on your needles for whatever the length of the project you want to do. So if you're doing a scarf, you can cast on, 20 stitches or 50 stitches or whatever, however wide you want the thing to be. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is you need to get a slip knot in your work so that you can put the slip knot over the needle. And this is how I do a slip knot. If you already know how to do it the way you know how to do it, but this is how I do it when I'm first showing somebody how to do it. You just take the yarn. Let me pull some extra yarn out here. You take the yarn, here's the tail end, and you grab the yarn. You grab it like that. And let me show you how to do it once or twice, and then you do it. So watch me do it a couple times, and then you try it. If you try to do it with me as we go, it can get more confusing. So watch me do it, and then you do it. So you grab the yarn both in your hand, and then you stick out 2 fingers, and you'll wrap the yarn all the way around your 2 fingers, and then you drop the yarn close to your knuckles. You just drop the yarn. Then you open up your 2 fingers, and you stick your finger in and grab that strand and pull it through, and then you drop your 2 fingers out, and then you have your slip knot, and you kind of pull on the tails and it tightens it up. And I'll show you how to do that again. Okay. You let your yarn kind of dangle. There's the end of your yarn, and you grab the yarn and close your fist around it. Open up your 2 fingers. Wrap it around your 2 fingers one time. Drop the yarn close to your knuckles. Open your 2 fingers. Reach in between your fingers and grab that strand and bring it through. Fancy finger work. Oh yeah. Then you take your big fat 2 fingers out and you pull on the tails, and that tightens it up. You put your slip knot over your needle, and then you pull on one tail or the other tail. One will tighten it and one won't do anything. If you pull on it and nothing happens, grab the other tail and pull, and that'll make the slip knot grab onto the needle. We're going to cast on about 15 or 20 stitches for this practice swatch. So I don't want you to actually work on your actual project yet. Whatever project you have in mind, you're just going to do a swatch right now. Nothing crazy, just a swatch. We just got our slip knot put on, and you want to tighten up the slip knot so that it's tight enough that it won't fall off. If you were to shake it, it won't fall off. But you don't want your stitches to be so tight that you can't scooch them on the needle. So as we're doing this, kind of keep that in mind. You want your stitches to be loose enough that they can scooch, but you don't want them to fall off. Okay, so we've got our slip knot on, and now the long tail part is going to go in your left hand, and the needle is going to go in your right hand. So this is the way I teach people, and there's no right or wrong way of doing a long tail cast on. This is how I show people the very first time they're doing it. So this is a very simplified long tail cast on. So what I do is I have the long tail in my left hand, and I grab it and I stick my thumb up and I kind of pull. So I have a bar right here. So it's kind of like a football goalpost, and you have your thumb sticking up and you have your needle sticking up, and you make like a goalpost. Okay, I don't know why I have a football analogy, it just seems to work. So what you're going to do, we're going to get stitches over here onto this needle, and this is how you do it. You take your thumb that's sticking straight up, and you want to go over the bar and wrap it around your finger, around your thumb. So you go over the bar and then under the bar and back up, and that wraps the yarn all the way around your thumb. All right, let's do that again. So you stick your thumb up, you want to go over the bar and then down around the bar, and that gives you a full wrap around your thumb. If for some reason you wrap by going under the bar first, it doesn't wrap all the way around your thumb, and you want a full wrap. So you go over the bar and wrap it around so that you have a loop on your thumb. So now you're going to, now that you have a loop around your thumb, you're going to use your needle now for the first time, and you're going to go underneath this loop. You're going to go underneath with your needle, and just for half a second, I pinch the needle between my fingers, and then this thread that goes back to the ball of yarn, you're going to wrap it around. You're going to go around behind your thumb and your needle, and then when you bring it forward, you're going to go right in between your thumb and your needle. You go right in between, and then the loop that's on your thumb is going to go up and over the tip. Okay, and I'll show you this 10 times, so don't worry. And then to tighten everything, you just pull on the long tail, and that tightens your stitch, and now you have 2 stitches, and I'll show it to you a couple of times. Okay, so you make your goal post, and just like in football, the football has to go over the bar. So you're going to take your thumb and you go over the bar and wrap it around so that you have a total wrap around your thumb. Then you're going to take your needle and go underneath the loop, and then I pinch it for a minute because I don't want to drop the needle, and I'm going to take my hand off of the needle. And this yarn that goes back to the ball, I'm going to wrap it around behind, and then I'm going to bring it forward in between the needle and the thumb. And then I take my loop on my thumb up and over the tip, and then to tighten it, I just pull on the long tail. Okay, I'm going to do it again. Make your goalpost, thumb up, go over the bar, pick up the stitch, take your thread that goes back to the ball, wrap it around behind, bring it forward between your thumb and your needle, and then the loop on your thumb goes up and over the tip of the needle. And then to tighten everything, you just pull on the long tail. I'm going to bring the camera up real close. All right. We make our goalpost, wrap it around, put your needle underneath and pick up the stitch. Take the yarn that goes back to the ball and bring it around behind and pull it forward between the needle and your thumb. And then the loop that's on your thumb goes up and over. And then to tighten it, you pull on the long tail. If you've got it, if you've got the hang of this, I want you to put on about 15 or 20 stitches. So like right now, I've got on 6 stitches. When you have about 10 or 15 stitches, then I'm going to show you how to do the knit stitch. Part 2 will be a continuation with the knitting lesson. So I would appreciate you leaving your comments in the comment section below. And if you have any questions, just leave them there and I'll get back to you. Thanks for watching.